start recording. And anyway, so to get into the meat and potatoes, if you will, of what I want to talk about today. There was a couple things that happened over the weekend, and I have some thoughts on them, as I usually do. Now, the first thing that I wanted to address was the fact that over the weekend they had their little rigmarole at the White House on the with the UFC cage fight on the lawn, and all the all the brouhaha to go along with that, and there was some stuff going on, and they like Sean Strickland wasn't invited to the thing because he said some anti-Semitic stuff about the state of Israel, and it's his right as a fighter, and then so he decided to crash, and he forced his way up onto the stage and got arrested for I think it was disorderly conduct. And even if he's got to pay a ticket or whatever, you could see on his face when he was getting walked off a couch that he thought it was worth it. So. Good for him. And there was, other than that, the predictable outrage from the left screaming and moaning about how, this is a disgrace, and every fucking leftist yammering fucking twat waffle out there wants to talk about, this is the people's house, not his house, and they shouldn't be doing this. It's a disgrace to the country. This is why we're the laughingstock of the world, and blah, 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 blah. And then you've got like Hillary Clinton making social media posts talking about how it's your house. He shouldn't be doing this. This is from the cunt who literally vandalized the place when she moved out. When her and Bill left, they stole furniture. They poured glue into desk drawers. They vandalized the place to fuck it up for the incoming Republican Party. So this bitch has literally zero fucking room to talk about anything about decorum, propriety, or anything else because she's a fucking cankle-legged cunt, and I fucking hate her. And she knows she's going to get dragged every time she posts something to social media because she always posts with her comments off, which is just very telling. And so that's an absolute fucking, whatever, bitch. But anyway, so yeah, that happened, and everybody comes out and posts all this yada, yada, yada. Oh my God, it's a disgrace. Oh my God, I can't believe things like this would never happen. Now, this is from the same fucking side that was absolutely fine with there being a bunch of topless trannies on the fucking White House lawn under the Biden administration. And it's not that I necessarily care that the Biden administration brought a bunch of trans individuals in to celebrate Pride Month. What I care about is the fact that, yeah, they're dudes with fake tits, but they're still running around topless and being degenerate perverts because for some reason the left has completely destroyed the original concept of pride and turned it into a celebration of fucking perverts, and I'm not okay with that. I like the idea of pride when it meant everybody. I mean, I already went off about this a couple weeks ago. When it meant everybody got treated equally and fairly, I was all for it. When it meant celebrate me, I'm special because I'm a freaky pervert that wants to have my fucking squishy bits out in front of your kid, fuck you, die in a fire, get run over by a bus. I hope you fucking hurt yourself because you're a piece of shit. Now, beyond that, I did actually have some further thoughts on this matter, and also the other big thing that happened over the weekend, which I'm also, it all kind of lumps together in a grand overarching thought I've had about things. And the thing that happened over the weekend was Elon Musk took SpaceX, fired out the IPO for SpaceX, and became the world's first trillionaire. Now, I, for one, don't have a fucking problem with that in the slightest. I see it as he provides worth and value to our society and subsequently is rewarded for it. I see it as capitalism functioning as a win. Every petty, retarded fuck on the left who's out here bemoaning the fact that Elon fucking became a trillionaire, and all these fucking same clowns who, before he started leaning towards the right, was fuck, audio cut out again. That's not good. Well, the little meter on my thing is still going up and down, so I don't know how it's cutting out. That's really weird. Anyway, unless that's is that. Yeah, no, that says it's the Rodecaster, so it should be picking up the right. I was going to say if it's the built-in speaker on the microphone or on the laptop picking it up, but no, that says it's the Rodecaster doing the picking up. So weird. Anyway, So Elon became a trillionaire, and every fucking socialist piece of shit out there starts bemoaning, oh, it's unfair. He shouldn't have all this money. He could be funding this. He could be funding that. He could be paying for this and he could be paying for that. Just every fiscally illiterate fucking retard on the planet who decides, well, Elon must be the bad guy because he has something I don't have, and that's not fair. And you get, Liz Warren and fucking Bernie Sanders and every other predictable fucking leftist piece of shit out there who became a millionaire without actually providing anything of worth to the fucking world. They're all bitching that Elon became a trillionaire, saying, oh, well, the government should be taking more of his money because if he can be a trillionaire, he doesn't need to have all that money. That's not fair. It could be solving all of these other problems. Now, I've seen a couple of different posts out there that put it into a good perspective that a lot of people don't think about. Things like, the government spends 1.3 Elons, every year on this. It spends 1.4 Elons on that. It's running at a deficit of 3 Elons right now. So literally, if they took everything that he had to his name, they would still be running at a massive financial deficit. And these people have proven time and again that they are utterly fucking incompetent and unworthy of that money. So any single person who starts saying, well, Elon should be giving money to the government to fix X, Y, and Z should immediately be disregarded and mocked fucking ruthlessly because they are obviously fucking retarded. They're fiscally illiterate morons who are petty and jealous. And that's the only reason they have a problem with it. Because when Elon became a trillionaire, he also made 4,400 new millionaires out of people that worked for him in various departments of his companies who owned stock through employee stock purchases, employee stock gifts, and just having their general worth as, he would give people stock as a reward, performance rewards. I mean, there's a guy working in the cafeteria at fucking SpaceX right now that became a millionaire on Saturday when the IPO launched. I mean, some fucking 28-year-old kid making $22 an hour or whatever the fuck he was making, $26 an hour. I mean, basically making somewhere close to the ballpark of what I make. Because let's be honest, I don't make a fucking killing. And I don't get paid hourly. So that's also where I consider that, I'm expected to work 50 some hours a week. So that just makes my hourly net value go down. But anyway, I'm talking about, practical earnings as opposed to what I earn on paper, which that's a whole nother. This is not about me. This is about Elon. So Elon created more millionaires with one IPO than a single fucking parasite in DC has ever created ever in the history of fucking DC. These worthless fucks and these yammering fucking clowns who are out here saying, oh, well, they should just take his money. And you got these fucking retarded European leftists are like, oh, well, if he gave us this money, he could fund this and he could fix all of these problems. People that have proven over and over again that they are incapable of operating within their means. They literally take money from every earning individual in the country by force under threat of imprisonment, and they still can't balance their fucking books. These fucking retards don't deserve a fucking dime. I've said it for years that taxation is theft and all that other good shit. And I mean it. I believe it. I believe they are unworthy stewards of your and my fucking money, and they should not get a fucking dime. Now, the problem with that is, and this is going to kind of come to the overarching thing I'm thinking about this week, is you can't have conversations with people that are saying dumb shit like that. With the fucking morons, with the Bernie Sanders fans, with the fucking Liz Warren fucking tribe, with the fucking assholes just on every social media platform talking about, well, Elon could do this and Elon could do that, but he's not doing it. Because first off, I'm very convinced that anybody that's not a career parasite that's making these statements is just fiscally fucking retarded, because they hear $1 trillion and they say, well, that means he's got $1 trillion in his checking account, because they're fiscally illiterate. And I believe that fiscal illiteracy is deliberately cultivated by our government, because government schools made people stupider, and there's mountains of fucking evidence that say that. I will die on that fucking hill. And so you get these fiscally illiterate fucking retards that all lean communist because they're fiscally illiterate fucking retards who are out there thinking Elon just has a liquid cash of $1 trillion fucking all of a sudden. They don't understand that 97% 97% of his net worth is tied up in companies he owns, is invested in making other money. It's all out there in the fucking ether doing work and making more progress, creating the fucking luxuries they don't appreciate, making the fucking advancements that are going to stabilize this fucking country and possibly save the species if he can get us multiplanetary, because honestly, I believe that's going to be required. But on the other hand, I also don't necessarily think humanity is worth saving anymore either. I'm a very jaded asshole. And yeah, so it's a case of you got these fiscally illiterate, retarded motherfuckers who genuinely believe the bullshit they're posting. It's not that it's just a case of ideology overruling fucking common sense. It's a case of these retarded motherfuckers legitimately believe the shit they are saying, because they are fucking retarded motherfuckers. And you have to realize you cannot win an argument with a retarded motherfucker because facts, logic, and concrete evidence mean nothing to them, because it doesn't fit what they want to believe. So it must be, misinformation or disinformation or a lie or a narrative or whatever it is. It can't actually be valid truths because it invalidates their strongly held retarded fucking beliefs. They are, and the same thing goes with the morons that are screeching about everything that was going on at the White House over the fucking weekend. The fucking retards who were absolutely silent when the Biden puppeteers had fucking trannies dancing with their tits out on the fucking South Lawn. These absolute mouth-breathing fucks don't just say this because, it's the party line and the party always tells the truth. They adamantly believe this shit to their core, and they cannot be reasoned with or dealt with until reality hops up and smacks them square in their fucking no-no squares. They are going to just latch onto the shit with all the fervor of a fucking religious zealot, because they don't actually have any deeper fundamental beliefs or cores other than this statist bullshit that they have all fucking sold their souls to. And they've done it without an iota of fucking self-awareness. Again, I believe it was deliberate indoctrination. I believe this just plethora of fucking retards was deliberately cultivated by the fucking, powers that be, because it was beneficial to them in some way. And they're going to drag us all into the fucking toilet with them. And, if I was a less, globally minded individual, I would say fuck it and let them go. But when I realized their stupidity directly impacts my quality of life, fuck them. Fuck them all. Fuck them in the ear with a fucking corn cob. I hate them. I hope bad things happen to them. I really do. It's utterly pathetic because they are wrapped in this smug sense of self-importance that makes them believe that the entire world, including their own senses, are fucking wrong. And, this deeply held belief that, people that have more than them are just greedy and selfish and not trying to do good in the world. And the people who have less than them need to be lifted up by the people who have more than them. Meanwhile, they can sit around with their thumb wedged securely in their ass because they don't actually have to sacrifice anything, because they don't have anything. They don't contribute. They don't earn. And on some fundamental level, they realize that leaves them fucking lacking. They realize they are hollow fucking people. They lack worth. They lack value. They don't bring a fucking thing to the table other than, to be the fucking educated idiots and the fucking useful idiots that the leftist shitheads in power need to maintain their death hold on the fucking country. And I mean, these are the people, they are fundamentally fucking evil, because these are the kind of assholes where they would rather rule over the ashes than fucking see the entire culture rise. They will fucking destroy the goddamn world as long as they get their piece of the pie, and they have legions of fucking retards lining up to back them. And it's I've come to the point where you can't talk to these people. You can't fucking reason with them. You can't make them see reality. I mean, yeah, every once in a while somebody snaps out about it. And there's been sayings going around for years, and I don't necessarily disagree with the sayings and one of them is, if you're not a liberal in your 20s, you don't have a heart. And if you're not conservative in your 30s, you don't have a brain. And that's not entirely inaccurate. If you don't have more liberal leanings, and if you're not more driven by your emotions when you're younger, you're probably fucking missing something in your development. But if you don't eventually realize how the real fucking world works and snap your head out of your fucking ass, then you're fucking stupid. It's not a matter of, well, if you're not using your brain, if you're not conservative, you're not using your brain. Because honestly, at the end of the day, I don't consider myself a fucking conservative, but I consider myself somebody that uses their mind a lot more than the average motherfucker. Because conservatives traditionally mean you don't want things to change. You want to conserve the current thing. You want to keep things the way they are. And I've got a laundry list of shit that would change if I had any kind of fucking pull in this world. I mean, I've got you guys, but nobody else really fucking wants to hear what I have to say. I appreciate the support, but at the end of the day, I'm not reaching the right fucking ears because, I mean, like I said, I'm not conservative. I don't want to conserve things. I don't want to keep things. I don't want to maintain the status quo. I don't want to keep kicking the fucking can down the road and making it another generation's problem. I don't want to have the fucking world keep on the fucking course it's on and wind up with praying for giant meteor in the next election because at the end of the day, nobody's worth a goddamn. I would rather see the species evolve and grow and become mature and be actual functioning human fucking beings. Doesn't look like I'm going to get that fucking wish, but we can always hope. And on the other side of that coin, which takes me to the next kind of bullet point I have, is they are, the Republicans who have a slim majority in both houses of Congress and are doing everything they can to actively fucking hand control back to the Democrats so they can go back to, we need to fundraise so we don't do this and da-da-da-da-da-da. It's just, I know I'm not alone on that. I know I'm not in the minority. 78% of the Americans in this country want voter ID passed, including leftists. But at the same time, yeah, okay, what does that got to do with anything, Shauna? Sorry, distracted by the chat. At the end of the day, these worthless fucks are doing nothing to, maintain the promises that they were elected on. They've done nothing to, show they are worthy of the fucking support of the people who voted them into office. And they're just playing the game as usual. They're going to keep doing what they've always done. And then and it's like, no, motherfucker, you handed everything back to them through your ineptitude and through your inaction. Fuck you. And that's where I have my problems with, the extreme right, with the fucking corrupted ass MAGA movement. MAGA, to my mindset, was a great fucking concept before it got turned into a political movement. Make America great again. I have no problem with that at all. Now, you get the leftist retards who are like, hey, yeah, make America great when white men were in charge. And they try and spin it like it's this horrible thing to want to go back to putting them, because I'm an America first individual. I believe until we fix our own fucking problems, the rest of the world can pound fucking sand. And that's what it means to me, is to prioritize our own shores, our own borders, and our own fucking people first, instead of robbing our fucking citizens to take care of the rest of the fucking freeloaders on the fucking planet. I can't stand that shit. And then the movement got hijacked by the fucking Orange Jesus and his fucking cronies. And all of a sudden, you've got these people who are doing the exact same shit they blame the left about with, oh, well, you're not ideologically pure. You don't count as we're going to vote you out because you don't unquestioningly march in lockstep with us to, Orange Jesus can do no wrong. And I mean, it's just fucking infuriating to me. So at the end of the day, fuck those clowns too, because they're just as strongly blinded by their fucking ideological zealotry that they are fucking useless too. Neither one of them has enough pull to actually fucking overturn this other side. And if either side ever actually does, things are going to get fucking worse. They're not going to get fucking better. I mean, the MAGA crowd, honestly, compared to the leftist wackadoos, it might be preferable just because, I mean, sorry, these headphones, I'm taking them off. They're driving me fucking nuts. Now, say what you will about the fucking right-wing wackadoos, they're way less inclined to fucking kill people for disagreeing with them. That's fundamentally, that goes back to the whole disassociation from reality I have a problem with all these leftist retards, all the morons who refuse to acknowledge that certain things are just fucking reality. They are also the side that cannot, see the complete disingenuous of trying to paint yourself as the good guys when your response to people questioning your ideology or disagreeing with your ideology is violence and fucking murder. The people who celebrated Charlie Kirk dying because he had an idea that wasn't something they liked, and he was effective because he would talk about things and be rational in discourse and respectful. Unlike if you get in my face the way people got in his face, I'm going to talk shit until you fucking cry or until you try and do something to me, which is going to be a really bad idea because you're going to go in a fucking box. I might go to prison, but you're going to go to fucking hell. That's the end of the fucking conversation. You put your hands on me over something I said, I'm going to fucking hurt you. And I'm not going to play fair. It's not going to be a fair fight. It's not going to be, oh, well, I'm in pretty good shape. I'll take you. You're a big fat old man. I'm going to kick your ass. No, you're going to get fucking shot or you're going to get fucking cut up, depending on how I feel the best response in that situation is going to be. You know, sometimes shooting somebody's not the best response. Sometimes it's better to give them a little pokey. And people are going to say, oh, well, you're saying da. No, what I'm saying is if you put your hands on me, I am going to escalate accordingly. And certain people will try and say, oh, well, that's what happened with the Carmelo Anthony case. No, it's not. That fucking little piece of shit put himself into a place he had no business being with a knife looking for fucking trouble and antagonized a situation. And anybody who says otherwise is full of shit. Them's the facts. Your feelings don't matter. It's got nothing to do with race, and it's got everything to do with fucking attitude. You assault me, I'm going to assault you back. You escalate, I'm going to escalate back. That's the end of the story. You push me, I'm going to push you back. But, you know, that's nuance that people don't fucking understand these days. It's, you know, proportionate responses. If you decide you're going to assault me because you feel like I'm a threat to your way of life or some other dumb shit, I am going to respond in kind, and I promise you I'm probably better at it than your average fucking Fruit Loop. But that's neither here nor there. It's a case of, you know, like I said, proportional response. If I see you're bringing a weapon to the table, I'm going to fucking end you. If I see that I'm in a position where you're going to have a mob action against me, I'm going to make sure I take a bunch of motherfuckers with me. And I know I'm not the only person who feels that way because, frankly, a lot of us middle-of-the-road people who just want to be left the fuck alone to live our best lives and take care of our families are, you know, kind of fed up with this shit. We're tired of getting demonized for being ourselves. We're tired of getting fucking told we're the bad guys for a bunch of stupid motherfuckers not being able to fucking make it as adults because they're just failed fucking human beings. And we're tired of being threatened by fucking mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging theater failures who want to act like they're somehow the new resistance because they've never belonged to a fucking real thing in their life, so they have to make this shit up. That's why there's 97 fucking pronouns out there, because these goddamn retards couldn't actually fit in with anything that is real. They never had that character development where they became a fully functional human being, and so they have to create nonsense to make themselves feel special because, again, I keep coming back to this. There's this gaping void in their fucking existence because they don't have any meaning, because they don't have any fucking worth. But they're also too pampered and spoiled to realize that if you don't contribute shit, you're going to feel like you don't contribute shit. And on some fundamental level, you're going to know you're a piece of shit and you're going to behave accordingly. Instead of behaving like a useful contributing member of fucking society, you're going to behave like a fucking piece of shit. Because at the end of the day, that's all you fucking are. And then you get all mad when somebody comes along and points out what a piece of shit you are. And then you get violent because you have the fucking emotional depth of a goddamn 3-year-old. And your response to people saying things you don't like is violence. It's just utterly fucking retarded. And the problem is, at some point, because again, these are all spoiled kids who never got their fucking pee-pee slapped when they were misbehaving. They don't realize eventually they're going to try that shit on the wrong fucking people, and there's going to be serious next-order consequences. And at some point, I feel like between all the fucking people being stupid over the Austin Metcalf murder, and all the people being fucking stupid over the fucking Trump thing, and all the people being stupid over Elon, it's just powder keg. And you've got fucking morons out there talking about, oh, well, you know, we're going to go out there and I'm going to slap every cracker I see. At some point, you're going to slap somebody who's not going to fucking just sit there and take it. And it's going to be it's a fucking powder keg situation. And I believe this situation is being deliberately cultivated. I don't want to go around constantly thinking about, am I going to have to fucking hurt somebody today? But on the other side of that coin, I also don't want to go around and just be the guy who gets fucking hurt that day either. I don't go out actively looking for trouble. I actively try to de-escalate anything that happens to me. But there's also a point where you got to realize the other person has no intention to de-escalate, and then you need to respond accordingly and proportionately. It's a hell of a thing, and it's and you're always going to be second guessing yourself. There are no sureties in this world. There's no guarantees. There's no, you're going to look back and wonder if you overreacted or if you underreacted, or if as long as you're still around to be able to look back, I suppose that's really the thing that ultimately matters. But there's always going to be somebody that's going to try and paint your responses evidence or proof as to why their side is right and your side is fucking wrong. Meanwhile, you're in the middle saying, I don't even have a side. I hate all you motherfuckers. And that you're just fucking screaming into the wind. So you might as well save your fucking breath. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been thinking about for the last couple of days. Like I said, I've been under the weather. I had a fever all weekend. I've accomplished exactly jack and shit. And it was really a bummer because I was really looking forward to actually spending my first weekend off with the wife and a couple friends and having a good time. And instead I wound up, laying on the couch and being a fucking bum and being uncomfortable. And, what can you do? But anyway, so to kind of go over to the whole powder keg situation thing, that ties into the last thought I really have for the time being, which is, it's also come out over the last couple of days that over the weekend, the FBI apparently stopped multiple plots for terror-style attacks at the 250th gala celebration at the White House over the weekend. And, I mean, based on some of the reports, like one of them was a group of people in California that were planning a sniper. Like the guy was posting, they caught him with chats where he's, got diagrams of the area and where the best sniper perches would be. And he had a bunch of rifles and a bunch of ammunition. He was trying to get people to come pick him up and just go and cause chaos. And then there was another plot that they apparently exposed, which was somebody planning a bunch of IED drones where they were going to fly into the crowd. And, and drones are notoriously difficult to fucking deal with in terms of security. If you don't believe me, just Google drones in Ukraine and you'll see exactly how hard that shit's to do. And honestly, it's some genuinely sad shit to watch because you see soldiers like running for their lives as these little rinky-dink fucking flying IEDs hunt them down, and they usually, as often as not, the soldier fucking just winds up giving up and just resigned to the fact that they're fucking dead. And it's fucking heartbreaking in a lot of ways. It's the new modern standard of warfare. It's also massively problematic because now you've got fucking retards out there the same morons who are sitting there saying, oh, well, we should ban 3D printers because those make ghost guns. And now they're saying, oh, well, we need to heavily regulate drones because they can be easily converted into weapons of war. Now, not only is it massive infringement upon the rights and freedoms and liberties of people, and also I believe if that's the case, that you're going to try and regulate drones because they can be weapons of war, then they're protected by the Second Amendment, and fuck yourself. Same way I feel about pretty much every other infringement on my rights to defend myself and the people I care about is you can go take a flying fuck at a rolling fucking donut. But at the end of the day, like I said, it comes back to this whole, and if you look at the picture of the guy who was behind the drone plot, he looks like the kind of motherfucker that could get roped in by an FBI agent real easily. He looks like, that elevator don't go all the way to the top. He looks like they probably should check his hard drives for other materials. I'm just saying he looks like he might need a trip through the chippy. But yeah, so thinking about that, it's kind of where I'm at. And also, do I think these guys were probably entrapped by the FBI and encouraged into it? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because, they got to look like they're doing something. They still haven't arrested anybody for the Epstein shit or anything else of any real import. No insider trading arrests, no Epstein arrests. All the elite are still protected. So, I mean, who gives a fuck? And honestly, at the end of the day, the only reason I give a shit that they stopped anybody from doing terror attacks at the fucking 250th anniversary celebration is there were people there that were there because, like military people just random everyday people. As far as the political elites that were there, I could give a rat's ass if any of them fucking got bumped off in a terroristic attack, because at the end of the day, as much as I don't agree with this fucking ideology that the left is the primary proponent of, that we kill people we don't agree with, on the other hand, I'm also coming around to the philosophy of a bunch of dead politicians is really not, anything to fucking lose sleep over at the end of the day. Because, oh, well, what if they're not on your side? None of these motherfuckers are on your side. And those are shit. Maybe that's why my computer doesn't work, because I say shit like that. But at the end of the day, I don't have a side. None of these motherfuckers are doing me any favors. None of them are making my life any better. None of them are making my life any easier. So I don't really give a good goddamn if they put themselves deliberately in harm's way, knowing there's a bunch of whack jobs out there who are going to try and kill them. Am I saying it's right? No. But my concern would be more for there were a bunch of, service members that were there because they were, they won the raffle or whatever, they were being rewarded for some sort of good performance in their military duties. I would hate to see those guys get blown the fuck up at a fucking thing that was supposed to be a celebration of the country's anniversary. But, but like I said, the politicians and the rich motherfuckers that were just, paid to be there, fuck them, I don't care. You haven't done me any favors, fuck you. You're not serving the country. You're fucking parasites. They all suck. But then, that's just kind of the way I look at things these days. I'm so over. I mean, people are like, oh, well, that's my favorite politician. Who the fuck has a favorite politician? They're not, athletes. They're not people you work with. They're not your coworkers. They're not your buddies. They're fucking people that are supposed to represent you that are actually fucking screwing you in the process. And I have representatives I don't fucking hate. I like Tim Burchett. I like John Kennedy. I like Thomas Massie, even though a bunch of people are saying, Massie's not any good. And I'm not thrilled with Tommy because he did go along with Ro Khanna and AOC and all the fucking leftist retards. Now, granted, he was doing it for a good reason, trying to get some fucking, traction on the Epstein shit. But at the end of the day, you don't lay down with dogs and not expect to get fleas. And Ro Khanna and AOC and Ilhan Omar and all those leftist pieces of shit, it's signing a deal with the devil, and it's a fucking shame. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, since he lost his re-election bid, which I still find kind of surprising. But they, threw a lot of money at making sure he didn't get reelected. So, I guess it was kind of inevitable too. But yeah, so that's kind of all I got. I know I'm all over the place today and not saying anything too particularly interesting or useful, but these are the thoughts that rattle around in my head, and this show is still mostly my therapy, so that's what you guys get on a semi-regular basis. That and occasional sound bites that make me sound like a jackass, that make, Kate laugh. So I'm going to throw it open to the chat. I know there's a couple minutes of a delay here. That's one thing that doesn't seem any different on whichever streaming service I'm using, or whichever computer I'm using, so at least that's consistent. But in the meantime, we are going to do a recipe this week because I've been looking this way. So and I don't think I did this one before. If I did, somebody correct me in the chat. But we're going to do kheer, which is a basmati rice pudding. It's an Indian rice pudding. It's different. It's not bad. It's pretty good. And for this recipe, you're going to use a half a cup of basmati rice, 2 cups of coconut milk, 2 cups of regular milk, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a quarter cup of raisins, half a teaspoon of cardamom, some toasted sliced almonds, chopped pistachios, and a half a teaspoon of rose water. So you're going to bring coconut milk and regular milk, sugar to a simmer, low boil, or slow boil, just where it's just starting to boil anyway, over a low heat. You're going to add your basmati and you're going to simmer it until it starts to thicken up. Then you're going to add in your raisins, your cardamom, and you're going to stir it up so it's well mixed, and you're going to allow it to cook for 5 to 7 minutes. Then you're going to garnish it with toasted almonds and chopped pistachios and serve it warm. So that's kheer rice pudding. So yeah, that's the recipe this week. At least I remembered to get something together. I can't remember if it's something I did before or not, because honestly, I'm still recovering from being sick all fucking weekend, and you get what you get. With all the technical difficulties, this is the best I could come up with on short fucking notice. Thank you guys for your time and attention to this matter, and please, like, share, subscribe, all that fun shit. Or don't, whatever. I'm still going to be here. And Lorenzo just hopped in the chat, said, okay, I'm here, start over. All right, so we're going to start out as we do by saying to Iceman Jason, Javier Fitzmachain, El Jefe, Devlin O'Morte, to Billy G, to the guys from the Weathered Soul Media Group, to, I don't know. That's all you're getting, brother. I'm brain burnt, and I think I fucked up the original intro anyway, so. Yeah, so I guess I'll throw it over to the chat, see if anybody's got anything they want me to particularly go on about. I don't know, maybe. Yes, no. We'll give it a minute for the lag, and then I think we'll punch out because we'll be at a 43-minute stream, 34 minutes of actually recording it. So. All right, well, I guess nobody really has anything to they want me to talk about, so I guess for now, it was slapdash, it's chaotic, it's disordered, but I mean, at least it was something, so thanks for tuning in, guys, and for now, that's what I had to say.